From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Friday, February 20th, 2026. I'm Steve Prentice. CISA orders urgent patch of Dell flaw. Following up on a story we covered yesterday, CISA has now ordered government agencies to patch their systems within 3 days against a maximum severity Dell vulnerability that has been under active exploitation since mid-2024. This CVE-numbered hard-coded credential vulnerability in Dell's Recover Point, which is a solution used for VMware virtual machine backup and recovery, is being exploited by a suspected Chinese hacking group tracked as UNC6201. It is being used to deploy several malware payloads, including a backdoor called Grimbolt, which uses a compilation technique that makes it harder to analyze than its predecessor, the Brickstorm backdoor. Android malware uses Gemini to navigate infected devices. According to researchers at ESET, the first Android malware strain that uses generative AI to improve performance once installed has appeared, but this may just be a proof of concept. The goal of the malware, named Prompt Spy, is to, quote, deploy a VNC module that hands hackers remote control of infected devices, end quote. ESET says it comes with capabilities to instruct Google's Gemini chatbot to interpret parts of the device's user interface using natural language prompts, which allow the malware to examine the user interface. This then informs the gestures it needs to execute on the device in order to keep the malicious app pinned to its recent apps list. ESET found versions of Prompt Spy uploaded to VirusTotal in January with the Gemini-assisted strains submitted from Argentina. Half of all cyberattacks start in the browser, says Palo Alto Networks. According to their 2026 Global Incident Response Report, which analyzed 750 major cyber incidents across 50 countries in 2025, 48% of cybercrime events involved browser activity. The report identifies, quote, phishing, malicious links, credential harvesting pages, spoofed websites, and even ClickFix, end quote, as browser-enabled tools. Among its 10 recommendations, use a password manager and an ad blocker, switch to an anonymous search engine like DuckDuckGo, and be wary of AI browsers. New commercial-grade phishing kit bypasses MFA. Named Star Killer but unrelated to the Red Team penetration testing tool of the same name, this kit is distributed on the dark web in a software-as-a-service model, including subscription, updates, and customer support. Whereas most other phishing kits use HTML clones of a victim's login page, Starkiller launches a phishing site through a proxy operated by infrastructure it controls, which makes it indistinguishable from the real login portal being used as a template. Because Starkiller proxies the real site live, there are, quote, no template files for security vendors to fingerprint or blocklist, end quote. This also enables it to bypass MFA because, quote, the targeted user is authenticating with the real site through the proxy, end quote. Huge thanks to our sponsor, Conveyor. Most of what Conveyor automates is boring, like really boring. Security questionnaires, customer requests for things like your SOC 2, all of their follow-up questions, answering tickets from your sales team. But you know what's not boring? Alteryx using Conveyor to support over $500 million in enterprise deals with a small 4-person team. All they did was set up an AI trust center and use Conveyor's AI agent to complete the questionnaires. You can learn more at conveyor.com. That is conveyor.com. France's national bank account database suffers a cyber attack. French authorities have confirmed that a malicious actor illegally accessed a portion of the country's national bank accounts file known as FICOBA, F-I-C-O-B-A, which records all bank accounts in the country. The bank account database consists in general of more than 80 million individuals, and in this attack it is believed that 1.2 million accounts were impacted. It is said that the hacker, quote, impersonated a civil servant whose credentials allowed access as part of interministerial information exchanges, end quote, to query part of the database. A representative said that the file contains a list of bank account details but does not provide access to the accounts themselves, nor to account balances, nor to transactions. Jackpotting on the rise due to malware-stuffed ATMs. Not a new technique in itself, but the FBI says this technique is on the rise across the United States. ATM jackpotting is a technique where physical and software vulnerabilities in ATMs are exploited to deploy malware that instructs the machine to dispense cash on demand without bank authorization. Plautus malware, that is Ploutus, which is commonly used in these attacks, exploits Extensions for Financial Services, XFS, which is an open standard API that ATMs, point-of-sale terminals, and similar devices that run banking applications use. The Department of Health and Human Services to learn more about third-party vendors in healthcare. The HHS said on Thursday that this uptick in attention to the security of third-party service providers is a result of the 2024 Change Healthcare cyber attack, considered the biggest ever in the sector. The Change Healthcare attack began with hackers exploiting the lack of multi-factor authentication set up on a remote access portal. This, according to HHS Cybersecurity Director Charlie Hess at a recent conference. She said, quote, "We realize there are third-party risks lurking in our healthcare system and we don't even know they are there," end quote. Massive Android banking malware poses as an IPTV app. The researchers at Threat Fabric have named this new Android banking malware Massive, that is MASSIV. It poses as an IPTV app, that is Internet Protocol Television, to steal digital identities and access online banking accounts. The malware, quote, relies on screen overlays and keylogging to obtain sensitive data and can take remote control of a compromised device, end quote. The researchers observed Massive target a Portuguese government app that connects with Portugal's digital authentication and signature system. Such a procedure could be used to bypass Know Your Customer verifications or to access banking accounts and other public and private online services. It's Friday, but let's start thinking about how to get next week off to a good start. Instead of dreading a return to office drudgery, why not look forward to the best cybersecurity news briefing around? We live stream the Department of No every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, breaking down the news of last week and giving you the insights you need to bring to your team. Join our 2 security leader guests in our lively chat room, ask some questions, and join in on the conversation. Be sure you're subscribed to the CISO Series YouTube channel to join us each and every week at 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you have some thoughts on the news from today or about this show in general, please be sure to reach out to us at feedback@cisoseries.com. We would love to hear from you. I'm Steve Prentice, reporting for the CISO Series.
Cybersecurity headlines are available every weekday. Head to CISOseries.com for the full stories behind the headlines.